Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Poppa Grizzly Gaming. Today we're going to be playing Madden 24. We'll be doing a rebuild, a full rebuild, having a little bit of fun with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, most of you know I am a Dallas Cowboys fan, so don't get it twisted. We're not changing over. I just felt like it would be a nice little rebuild for us to have some fun with, post-draft, post-free agency. We know that they signed Saquan Barkley in free agency, so he's going to be pretty cool to play with alongside that dynamic offense. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. The offense is going to be fun. Should be quite easy to put up a lot of points. I know one area of focus for us will mainly be the offensive line. I know that's kind of lackluster right now. As you guys will see here, we're going to be taking a peek at the roster. Cooper Dejean and Quinyon Mitchell, two of their draftees from about a month ago. One will play corner, one will play safety. Obviously, with Cooper Dejean's versatility, he'll be playing safety for us. We did also trade for Mekhi Becton off camera just to try and grab some O-line depth. As you guys can see, for the most part, the team is the same. We did also grab, I believe it was a corner in free agency. Yes, Marcus Peters. We'll probably be moving on from James Bradbury and Avonte Maddox. In my opinion, those guys are scrubs. I don't want them here. Reed Blankenship will probably be on the way out as well. Someone I'm not looking to keep, extend, or utilize in this rebuild. Our goal is to try and get a championship right away. We did make the playoffs last year. Now, when I say we in this rebuild, I am speaking as a Eagle. And unfortunately, we didn't make it too far. We had a lot of injuries and a lot of other things hindering us from being able to make a deep playoff run. So our roster isn't as though we're going to be starting over completely from scratch. We have a great foundation. We have superstar pieces, talent all around the quarterback, great interior line. So there shouldn't be any reason as to why we wouldn't be able to make it to the Super Bowl this year right away, barring any injuries or things like that. Now, I must say that this rebuild, again, we're just having fun, so it won't be super realistic. As you guys can see, some of these trades are pretty interesting. Probably something that wouldn't happen IRL in real life, but we're going to go ahead and, again, just have some fun. You guys will see rebuilds come out later on this channel where I'm a lot more realistic, a lot more stringent upon financial rules, and things like that. Like, I highly doubt the Panthers will be trading for J.C. Horn, so that would never be something that we would accept in a realistic rebuild. But for this purpose of this video here, we're just going to see whatever we can make shake. I'm thinking we take Quinn Miners just because it's someone who can help us out on the offensive line, at least for the time being. But we'll have to see what else we can make work. For the most part, I'll be trying to gain some draft capital with some of these picks, trying to set ourselves up for the future as well. I don't want us to have to let people go, veterans go, and we not have picks to bring people in to fill those spots. So we're just going to play around with some of these, see if we can make it work, see if we can, if not, just unload money, but that deal works. Let's see who else we'll need to move around. Yeah, Cooper Dejean is going to start at strong safety for us. Quincy Gardner-Johnson is going to stay at free safety. I just feel like it's his more natural position, at least the way he plays in this game. I am kind of glad that he's going back to Philly. He's a player I'm a fan of. Plays with a lot of tenacity, a lot of grit, a lot of heart. I like those tough players, especially at the safety position. The closer or the more you remind me of Brian Dawkins, Sean Taylor, those kind of players, 9 times out of 10, I'll be a big fan of yours. Now, with Cooper Dejean and Gardner Johnson, our safety should be set. Our linebackers, specifically outside, is where we lack, I wouldn't say talent, but star power, at least for the time being. Brandon Graham is old. I know a lot of you Eagle fans would want to see him retire an Eagle. I just don't see him being as productive as I want him to be, but 9 times out of 10, I'll keep him. Got a lot of respect for him. A player who's basically played his entire career at one place. And again, as a Cowboy fan, having to see him twice a year now, it's hard not to respect the guy. You either love him or you hate him. And there are a lot of receivers on this roster that are just old. And I know Philly did it for depth just in case something happens. But Devontae Parker's washed. Paris Campbell's washed. James Bradbury, like I said, is just too old. So we'll take another peek at some of these picks. I don't want to bring in another big receiver. I'd rather just let Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goddard cook. Allow them to be the main force between, not the main force, the main targets for Jalen Hurts. So if we can find another offensive lineman or some defensive help, preferably an outside linebacker or a DN outside of Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat. Uh, Not the biggest fans of theirs. I just feel like they can produce more on field. They are, however, quite young. So, so they do have that going for them. I think Tremaine Edmonds will be our best bet here. We'll move Devin White to left outside linebacker ahead of Nolan Smith. Have Tremaine Edmonds be our middle linebacker, and then we have Zach Bond on the outside. I'm not quite sure if we're going to keep him there and make a move or not, but we should at least be able to make a couple of moves to try and get something better or get some more draft capital. Because if we don't end up going to the Super Bowl or winning it this year, I would hope that we'd have enough draft capital to be able to move up far enough into the first round and grab playmakers that'll be able to make a difference just to ensure that we go right back to the Super Bowl should we not win it this year. I think I'm going to move on from Zach Bond and move N'Kobe Dean, who right now is our second string middle linebacker, over to either left or right, whatever side I did not put Devin White. So that way our trio would be Devin White, Tremaine Edmonds, and then N'Kobe Dean. I feel a lot better about that. And we have Darius Slade, Quinyon Mitchell, Keelan Ringo. So we're going to need another corner for sure. Which I thought I had brought on Marcus Peters, but I did not. So that was something I was definitely thinking of that we're most likely going to have to do just to try and secure our defensive backfield. Although he's older, he's someone who I would like to think is smart enough to be able to play the game still at a high level, especially as long as he's played it. Someone else tenacity I admire. Someone else who plays with a lot of grit. He's tough, not scared to get up in your face. Those of you who know, that's Marshawn Lynch's cousin. So the bloodline alone should let you know that they don't play. We're going to go ahead and cut some of these people, trade some more people, and go ahead and get things set up for this season. Now, before we get the season underway, we still have some roster spots to fill. Now, of course, in real life, by the time the season starts, a lot of these higher overall players will most likely be signed to a team. Connor Williams would be great, but yeah, here's Marcus Peters. We'll probably just bring Marcus Peters on. Again, we need the corner help. We lack the depth, especially if Darius Slay ends up injured or anything like that. We can't just have it be all on our rookie Quinyon Mitchell, so we'll get some help around him. Also, having Marcus Peters probably play slot corner on Quinyon's side to help give him some support. We'll grab Leonard Fournette. The Eagles drafted Will Shipley. He is not going to be my second string running back behind Saquon Barkley. I feel like Will Shipley is someone who could be good. I think they're taking a chance on him, hoping that he becomes a Christian McCaffrey type of running back. I don't quite see it yet. I don't think his ceiling is that high, but I also know his floor isn't that low. So he's a good player to at least give Saquon a bit of a break when it comes to some passing down situations like that. We could send Will Shipley out on a route or two. Having Leonard Fournette will give Saquon a break in terms of short yardage situations. We definitely don't want to give Saquon too much of a load. He is has some injuries now and getting a bit older. So we want to try and protect him as best as we can moving forward. try to minimize any other injuries or anything like that. You guys know the careers of running backs are never as long as other positions. They get beat up quite a bit. Now, not sure if you all noticed, but as I'm recording this, yesterday or the day before, schedules were released. And I'm kind of interested as to why the Cowboys and Eagles wouldn't have a primetime game. Now, the Eagles have five primetime games, the Cowboys have six. I honestly don't see why they couldn't have had a seventh and the Eagles had a sixth. Playing each other week 16, I feel like that would be a big division decider for us, especially since there still hasn't really been a repeat winner consistently at that in the NFC East. I'm almost certain the Giants won't be too much to be worried about. They did get Malik Neighbors, but we'll see. The Deadskins, I'm sorry, the Commanders have Jaden Daniels, but we'll see what we can do. Taking a look at our roster, it's fairly set up to be successful. Again, our outside linebackers, defensive ends, and interior line is where we are going to lack. Um, However, we still should have a pretty successful regular season and easily get a playoff spot this year. Now, of course, because this roster isn't updated by Madden, we had to download a roster. Some of these contracts will be a little funny. Um, Sometimes you'll see people like Jalen Carter still not have their star development revealed. But those are things that we have to deal with when trying to play the game a year ahead of how this game was made to be played. So, of course, a lot of these rebuilds will be redone once the new Madden comes out. However, NCAA football will be a primary focus for us as we will be rebuilding all 136 schools or however many there are. We'll be having quite a bit of fun with NCAA. We're going to go ahead and import this draft class for next year. Shadur Sanders, Will Campbell, Travis Hunter, Harold Perkins, Patrick Payton. Top five prospects coming up in this draft. Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter, I love a lot. Not just loving Deion Sanders or the things he's done for the college game of football or for coaches, but the man is inspirational, and I don't think anyone can doubt that. The way his son plays, most people might not be a fan of, but I certainly am. I don't think a lot of people understand the amount of work that kid puts in. And at the end of the day, these are all 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, and I think we should lay off being so harsh and criticizing them as much as we do. Go ahead, get some scouts set up, and get things set up for this upcoming season. Now, before we get the regular season started, we'll go ahead and upgrade our players from the preseason, as most of them have made some improvements that we would love to see. But again, guys, as this won't be our super competitive rebuild, we'll be doing gameplay in the playoffs. We'll probably do some in season gameplay if it looks like we need some help to guarantee our playoff spot. But for now, we'll go ahead and sim to the mid season and see where we're at. Now, 5-2 isn't bad. I feel like we could be better. But again, 5-2 is not bad. We'll be sitting at the top of the league. Mekhi Becton, Devin White, Richie James, DJ Chark, Chase Claypool, Zach Bond, Matt Hennessy, Leonard Fournette. We have quite a few free agents coming up this year. Jason Peters, Brandon Graham as well, Devontae Smith. Well, Devontae Smith will be accepting his fifth-year option. He won't be going anywhere. He's a staple on this team and someone we want to hold for the foreseeable future. We'll go ahead and secure Mekhi Becton as well. That superstar overall means he'll continue to progress at a higher rate compared to most offensive linemen. So when you get one that's superstar, it's best you hold on to him. Now, his main problem has been injuries, but we'll see what happens. Devin White is someone I want to bring back. Still very young, can play for us at least another 5 years. Well, we'll say 4 years at least. He'll be 29, 30 at that point, or 30, 31 at that point. So we would love for him to be the veteran outside of Tremaine Edmonds. Have those guys continue to coach up Nakobe Dean and actually build a much stronger linebacker core than what we've seen in the past. And of course, AJ Brown has a partial ACL tear. So that'll affect our offense quite a bit. Maybe I should have traded for a receiver earlier on as opposed to going offensive line. But we'll see what happens. Now, Jaden Daniels was just drafted by the Washington Redskins. Again, excuse me, Commanders. So we'll go ahead, jump in, get a game against Jaden Daniels, see how he is with his number 5 in the burgundy and gold. I won't be playing this entire game. We'll just jump in, get a few moments out of the way. Again, remember I did want to play with Saquon. Unfortunately, AJ Brown is hurt, so we'll probably just feed Saquon. Utilize Devontae Smith when we need to. Now, for those of you that saw my San Francisco rebuild, I won't be the greatest Madden player ever to play the game of Madden. Um, Shout out to Bingham. This is something he says a lot. But I am competitive. Not the best, but I'm most certainly not the worst. That was a very risky pass. However, luckily we have Jalen Hurts who has some nice touch. Devontae Smith able to bring it in. Move the sticks ahead for his first down. Now, I run a lot of 3 wide. I love spreading defenses out. I'm not a offensive coordinator in real life by any means. Um, However, that's just what works best for me. It's the way that I like to play. So if you guys see 3 wide often, there's similar plays run, but I do hot routes and things like that out of it. Try not to judge too harshly. Again, we're just having fun. Of course, I say that as I throw an interception, but that's just proof that I'm not the best. So we'll go ahead, skip ahead to the next moment and see where we stand. We are currently losing. However, we did get a safety. They get a field goal. It's 10-2. Sounds more like a baseball score than it does a football score. But we'll try and get some points here on this 2 minute drill. We are back all the way up to hour 7. Knowing how I play with our back against the wall, I should be running the ball right here. As you guys know, I'm chasing points and I don't like to lose. Sometimes when I lose, I get desperate. But we're going to keep going for it. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Trying to read this defense here. Looks like they're going to go cover 3, or it may have even been man. Either way, we get the first down, get out of bounds, try to save some time. Let's see if we can come away with another score. Barkley may be the one to hit here, and he is, but I didn't go that way. Get out of bounds, Dallas Goedert, and he doesn't. So we'll call timeout, and we'll try to continue to move the ball forward. And see if we can at least get a field goal and get some points before things wrap here. That was not the prettiest of passes. What a catch, Dallas Goedert. Great concentration. I honestly thought that was going to be picked off, but he holds on to it for us, gets out of bounds. Again, puts us in a great spot to try and get some points now before the half. I don't want to risk it just because I feel an interception coming on. And I for sure want the points over anything else. I'll take a field goal over nothing, especially going into the half. But here, based on how they're lined up, we may be able to hit Goddard right over the middle. If they stay in the defense they're in, and we do hit him, and he gets a touchdown. That was what we needed. Oh, that wasn't Dallas Goedert. That was DJ Chark. Shout out to him. Former Jacksonville Jaguar. I'm not sure where he was last year if it wasn't in Jacksonville. Here we are, right into it. Third quarter. And on third and short, we are stopped by Jonathan Allen. Although the Commanders did not bring back Matthew Ioannidis, that interior D line is still nasty. Even though they traded Chase Young and Montez Sweat, those guys played on the end. But they still have Jared Allen. They still have Deron Payne. So their interior line is still going to be pretty nasty. And what they're good at, which I don't think a lot of people notice, is they often take up a lot of blocks, take up space, and things like that. They stop offensive guards who are pulling or things like that, or chipping to get to the next level. They prevent that, which allows the Commanders' linebackers to play a lot more freely because they don't often have to fight off blocks as much on run plays. Dallas Goedert with another good catch. He's going to be our sure hands receiver, our possession receiver, someone who we know will come down and hold the ball. Again, I like Devontae Smith, but we all know he's skinny Batman. And of course, we fumble before I can even finish my thought. So we'll turn around and be on defense as I skip ahead. And we're still losing 13-9 now in the fourth quarter. A little over 3 minutes left. We do have the ball. So you guys know we will need points here. I do not want to take a loss to this team of all teams. So hopefully that was not a beautiful pass. I certainly don't want to start this rebuild off with the first gameplay being us taking an L. But again, I'm not the best. I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best. Again, Jalen Hurts gets it in another tight window. That one was very, very close. Luckily, we make it through. And of course, after that first down, we're tackled for a loss. I'm telling you guys, our interior line needs help, even with Mekhi Becton. Great job, Jalen Hurts. Extending things with your feet. Not quite sure why I did that. Especially seeing as how we fumbled last drive, or the last drive we played. Now, after the 2-minute warning, we need points here, and not just points. We need a touchdown. A field goal would still have us down one. So that won't do us any good unless we somehow get that field goal and don't use any timeouts. But I mean, even in we don't even want to think like that. We want a touchdown and just have that faith that our defense will get a stop. Now, this is risky. But again, we're going to take that chance. And it was nearly intercepted. So that might not be the best or smart option. Now, I should run the ball just to milk the clock. But my worry is I don't want to milk the clock when I'm not 100% certain that we can score. And that was not what we needed at all. Now, it's 4th and inches. If I was smart, I would run this ball just to get the first down and extend this drive. There's also the time where I said I should have passed it, but we didn't. However, we get the first down. That's what matters. Extend this drive. And now it is 1st and goal on the 1 yard line. Just over a minute to play. Will this be the game winning drive? Let this clock tick down. Work the clock. Work the clock. And yes, Saquon Barkley gets in. Touchdown, Eagles. Moving on ahead, 16-13. We are up by 3. Commanders have the ball, and they have driven to our side of the field. Now, that's not great. Last thing I want is to give up a field goal. Let them take this to overtime and beat us. I wanted to beat them in regulation. But now I'm not so sure that's going to happen. I don't know what happened to our defense in the sim. They just let them walk straight down the field. Now we did get the stop. It's 4th and 4, but entirely too close, I should say. He'll hit this. I got my fingers crossed, but he'll hit this. And as I said, he hits it. Looks like we'll be taking it into overtime. It's been a hell of a game so far. I mean, a lot more entertaining and competitive than I'm sure some of you all expected. For a game one episode, we have to get the overtime victory. Now let's see what we can make shape. Looking at the way they're set up, they probably just want us to run this clock out. I want a touchdown, but what I don't want to do is throw an interception and give them the possibility to take it back or turn around and get a field goal and get points. That was almost an amazing catch by Devontae Smith. Good coverage on that play by the Commanders. I'm not sure if that was Cameron Curl. I believe he left, but I could be mistaken. You all see that 5-4 for the Commanders is Bobby Wagner, who they recently signed. Someone I wish the Cowboys would have brought in. Of course, Dan Quinn goes to the Redskins and does exactly that. What a beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. I mean, he is throwing them on a line. Dallas Goedert has made some beautiful catches for us, as has Devontae Smith. We ended up getting the first down. Now, if only we can get enough. Beautiful catch. Was that Richie James? If we can just move up a little bit, just enough of this field goal. I hope I didn't miss it. And we got it. That'll do it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Poppa Grizzly Gaming. This is Poppa Grizzly. I love you all. Stay safe and stay amazing. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the link to this video, you all. You know what to do.